Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kristen and this is Growing Zone 9B. Alright friends, so in the last video you guys saw that I got a clothesline. So I'm really excited with it. I've been very happy. I threw some towels on it. It worked out perfectly fine. And this is the stuff, friends, that I think that we need to be leaning towards, in all honesty. I was talking to somebody at work and they were like, oh, I saw your video, and you know, it really got me thinking about being prepared and preparedness. And that's really the message that I'm trying to get out to everyone is, you know, just baby steps. Don't feel like you need to be overwhelmed with any of the growing process, or just doing what you can to become prepared for whatever may come or not come. You know, I just think having a clothesline is not only saving money, potentially, but you know, it may serve a really good purpose for us in the future. I just feel like God has really been putting on my heart just a lot of preparedness, just continuing to do what we're already doing, but kind of upping my game a little bit. And I'm sure that what's going on in the world has increased that mentality of preparedness. This weekend, the kids are gonna come over. My brother's bringing the kids over, and they're gonna help me out in the garden. We're gonna start to take down our mustard greens, any mustard greens that I can still save. What I'm going to end up doing is I have this screened like drying rack. Will just get dry as it's not like a machine. I do have a machine, but it's a smaller machine, and so I'm just going to air dry some of those mustard greens. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to crush them and put them in reserve, so to speak, and that way we can mix them into smoothies and other you know, drinks, or put them into soups in the future. That's part of being prepared, is, you know, I don't have any animals to feed this my greens and stuff to. Some of it's gone to flour. I'm over here looking at it. I can see some of it's gone to flour, but it's been benefiting. We've had some hummingbirds coming around, and so I've been really excited about that. And I've definitely got a lot of pollinators. I've got some arugula over here. I want to clean that bed. When I was over here in this side area over by our shed, I have like 4 baby pineapples coming up, and then I have one that's over here in one of my little buckets, my little pots. And so I'm excited because that's potentially 5 pineapple that are going to be coming from this garden that I can take the tops off of. I can make the tempeh. I can, you know, freeze some of that pineapple. We don't have to eat it all. I'm sure what's going to end up happening is that pineapple is so wonderful and delicious. I'm definitely going to be sharing with my parents, and I'd love for the kids to come over and try some of it, not just the juice, but also the pineapple itself. And so what I want to do is I normally take that second bed that's over there with the arugula, and I usually just kind of like prep it and get it ready for arugula for the next year, or I put something kind of minor in it. But I think as I move forward, I really want to kind of focus on more pineapple, just because it grows really well in that area, and we just enjoy eating it so much, and I want to be able to have more of it, and it's really something that grows well here in Zone 9B. One of the other things I want to shout out to my people at work. You all know I just had a birthday, and honestly, God brings you the people in your life that really just, that you need in the moments that you need them. And it was an amazing blessing. I was very shocked and taken back by, they know that I love growing, but friends, they went above and beyond. And so I literally bless them, is what I'm saying, bless them, is they got me this little pot. They made a seed cake. They had flipped this pot upside down, and they literally individually went through and taped all of these seeds on the outside of it. And I mean, friends, we are talking just tons and tons and tons of seeds. I mean, they literally spent so much money and love and effort into getting all of these wonderful seeds. I mean, honestly, I'm so excited that they have blessed me with these seeds. These are gonna make just really great additions to the garden. This is another thing about staying prepared and, you know, prepped, is because you want to have plenty of seeds. I mean, this is the stuff I want you guys to think about. Like, when we've had past world events, one of the first things that you see if your area is not affected is a lot of people are hungry. So you need to feed them. You need to feed your friends, you need to feed your neighbors, you need to feed yourself first and foremost, right? And so I think about that. That's one of the ways that we can kind of reduce our anxiety, is by being prepared and having our seeds on hand and already here, so that way we can be prepared to grow what we need to grow. All right, and as you guys know, one of the other things that my beautiful friend Dawn gave me, she had given me some sourdough. Beautiful blessing. My nephews and my niece love it. That's what they talk about. They're like, Aunt Kristen, sourdough waffles. Love them. Love them, friends. And it's a sourdough discard, which obviously y'all know that I'm still learning my sourdough skills. And so the kids love it. It's a great thing that you can feed people with. And so I am so blessed that she gave that to me. For my birthday, she also went above and beyond. And this is an awesome book. This is a massive, thick book. And it teaches us all kinds of ways to make our sourdough. And so while not everybody is into sourdough, I think that this is just a really good book for somebody like myself who is learning that skill again and really trying to, again, support my nieces and nephews and giving them good nutrition and knowing where that comes from. It's better than them getting like a Lego Eggo type situation. Not that there's anything wrong with that, okay? But for me and my family, knowing where that food comes from, I think is just really important and a key aspect to being prepared, because your body is your temple and you need to make sure that you are taking the steps to continue to put in good nutrients into your system. Now, some people would say that, you know, bread is not a good nutritional food, but at the end of the day, if you're hungry, bread's important. Friends, many people live and survive from bread. And so, you know, keep that in mind. I have other people that I think about, and you know what? Sourdough isn't something that everyone necessarily just gets at, you know, because they've got it in their home. And so we have that in our home, and what a blessing that is. My neighbor across the street, he had his other hip replaced, and so I took some waffles over to them just because I think that, you know, it's just a gesture of love and kindness and, you know, paying it forward. They have done stuff for us and helped us and, you know, come over and trim trees and cut our grass and just done wonderful, kind things for us. And so that little bit of love is just showing, hey, I care about you. I love you. You're, you know, and you need to share that love with people. I think the world is missing that. And when we have chaos, you need to have those people in your corner that you can really count on. And I know if something went down, they are people that I could count on, that we would be in alignment on the way that we think when it comes to the protection of our homes and our families and our pets. And so it's good to have those people in your corner. All right, the other book I got was just a really fun book. My aunt got this for me. It's awesome. Cowboy Kent. Hello, do y'all on YouTube watch him? I love Cowboy Kent, okay? He's the man. Love him. And so I got his book and I'm really excited about it. We don't do a lot of barbecuing. We used to. My brother got me a smoker, and so I'm going to pick that skill back up and start using our smoker a little more because I think that it's important. that we're also learning to like smoke our meats, and you know, that is not something that necessarily requires electricity. It does require gas. Speaking of gas, did you all see how much gas is? Here in Central Florida, I literally just drove by the gas station and it was $4.97 for just regular gas. Now, some people would say that's not a big deal, but it was just not that long ago, a month or two ago, it was around, you know, $3 and some change. So that's a hefty kind of jump for us. And again, when more money is coming out of our pocket, that leaves less for us to be putting in places like the grocery stores or somewhere that we may need to have our money shifted to, or even paying our bills. So one of my plans is, and that I'm thinking about, I have been really hardcore thinking about a grow tower. Now, not, I'm talking about like a hydroponic grow tower. My downside to thinking about this hydroponic grow tower is, number one, that it requires electricity. But my fiance, he's a tech guy, and so I haven't told him this thought yet, but he'll soon find out about it. I'm thinking we might be able to hook up some solar panel to it, and maybe we could completely run that off grid. And that might be an option because, you know, if something goes down, we may not have electricity. And here in Florida, we get quite a bit of sun. And so I would like for us to maybe like think about that. I'm going to work that out with him, but I just want y'all to know that it is like food for thought. And it is something that I can put on my carport and grow things maybe that in the heat of summer, we wouldn't be able to grow in the actual garden bed itself. But I could grow it under my carport because I do get a lot of sunlight underneath there. And I think that that's a really good, you know, kind of thought for us as we're moving forward. And like I said, you know, God's just putting it on my heart to really stay prepared and get our house in order. And get our bills all paid and make sure that we're not in debt. And so I just want you all to be thinking about that as well, is to not live in fear, but to do what you can to stay prepared. All right, so this weekend, like I said, we're gonna be going ahead and cleaning out our gardens. That's gonna be the plan. I wanna implement some more bananas into some of my grow beds. I think that that's gonna be great because they're doing so well in producing. And I think that that's an awesome step for us as we move forward. As soon as we are done with that, the kids and I will take you guys back around and kind of show you some of the changes that we've made. We've got a lot of dead foliage still left over from the cold, and I also want to get that cleaned up. So that's what's going to be happening this weekend. So I'm just encouraging you guys as well to get your house in order, friends. That is the goal for, I think, this weekend for us, and hopefully you guys are all doing the same thing. All right, friends, until next time, love one another, be kind, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Make sure that you are loving on your friends and your neighbors and keeping that relationship just happy and just paying that forward with love and good vibes.